Hey, thanks for joining Tuscan TV. This is Sam, and today I'm joined by Bub, and we'll be discussing
the new Hasbro Pulse reveals. Sorry.
Yeah, so those had just dropped on Monday, which is today.
As of filming or recording.
As of recording, and we're actually using an app, and we're streaming it onto our television here.
Yeah.
In our little theater room here.
Theater room.
And so we're gonna go ahead and talk about these cool figures that came out. Some are cool.
Revealed, not came out.
Not came out, but are that were up for pre-order that sold out within seconds.
Yep.
And the first one, what do you want to check it?
Do you want to start? We can start with the new figure or the archive if you want.
Yeah, let's go and start with the new figure.
All right, the Bo-Katan, which I was completely expecting because they've been slowly doing more Clone Wars characters. And she started from Clone Wars, plus it's Mandalorian, and they're going to want to make as many Mandalorian figures as they can. And I think it looks pretty cool. Only part that looks a little strange is the brown on the belt and like holsters are too much of a reddish brown, when in the show and cartoon she has a much more darker brown belt and holster.
Yeah, I think actually that's a really cool looking figure.
The face looks pretty accurate.
It's like pretty good. Like it's cool if you look at the other figures where they don't.
Yeah,
look
like
so well.
Like the season 7 Ahsoka. They definitely went more for more cartoon look than live action. Yeah. Although if you look at it, it still looks pretty much like a realistic Ahsoka would probably look like.
On this particular figure, I think they did a really good job on the face.
Yeah.
And this, I mean, that's of course a promo shot, but I think it looks pretty cool.
One thing I was a little disappointed that they didn't do was they didn't include Bo-Katan's original Clone Wars helmet. Because her original Clone Wars design, it didn't have like those kind of like eye patterns on the top. It was just mostly completely clean, no design. And of course, then she got it in the Rebel show, and she had it in the last season of Clone Wars, and that's been her design ever since.
But overall, that's a pretty good figure.
Looks pretty cool. I definitely want to get it so I can have it for the Siege of Mandalore.
Yeah, and of course we'll be waiting for that to actually hit the stores or probably local retail if you can find it.
If it gets here, because sometimes it's like I don't see anything new.
And then we're going to talk about that archive, the Tuscan Raider.
Yep, I mentioned this not that long ago.
Yeah, and I actually have some Black Series Tuscan Raiders. I mean, it's Tuscan TV. Of course I'm going to have a lot of these figures.
You're obsessed with the Tuscan Raider.
Exactly. And this one, I actually like it because they actually
use cloth.
They use cloth on it, of course, like they did with the last one. But I think there's more weathering on the actual inner row, is what I can tell. And then, of course, it comes with the rifle, and it comes with the gaffy stick with the 3 different spears. So that's pretty cool. And, of course, that one's sold out, and that's part of that 50th Lucasfilm archive figure. And then right after that, we have...
But you can get all of your generic Rogue One Army builder types.
So you have your Army builder types. So you have the Black Series Archive Shore Trooper.
Or the Hover Tank Trooper.
Yep. And of course the pre-order, as surprisingly, the pre-order is still available for the
Death Trooper.
Hover Tank right now.
Oh, the Hover Tank?
Yeah, it's still up. See? Right there. So that one is...
Oh, did the Shore Trooper just sell out right now?
I don't know if it just sold out.
Because I was looking at it and it said pre-order, so I think it
was already sold out because I looked at it earlier. And of course they have
I'm surprised the Death Trooper.
Death Trooper. And I'm going to be honest, man, I'm tired of seeing that Death Trooper. I've seen that thing so many times. I mean, granted, they're really trying to push those toys.
I don't really get army building characters, so they were never really an option I was considering.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's cool. I mean, if you want to build an army on that, I mean, that's pretty neat. I mean, obviously, it looks like they may have more of these characters in The Mandalorian. So I think that's probably what they're going to
They did have the Shore Troopers, but they didn't have the Hover Tank Troopers. They had like a gray version of it.
Yeah, and that was what they kind of showed off to the side. It was pretty similar to that design.
It's basically the same armor, just a slightly different color.
And then they have...
those bounty collection
the bounty collections.
And they look fine.
Those are pretty... I like the Mandalorian, like the child in the Mandalorian helmet. I like that one.
Yeah.
And of course they have the pre-order of the Black Series helmet.
It's sold out.
And it's... Well, actually, no, it's still on. See, it's right there. It's still up.
Oh,
it's the one above it.
I was looking at the wrong one. I was looking at the vintage collection.
So if you guys didn't know, I think a couple weeks ago, they had a...
There's a light thing on the side.
Yeah, they had a... So yeah, he's got his light on the side, and let's open it up.
Did he ever have that?
I think they used that.
He did?
I think they used that on one of the episodes. I could have swore they used that. But the inside actually looks really cool. So, like, if you don't know, if you've never bought any of the Black Series actually have really good details on the inside.
I guess that's what the inside of a clone, or not clone, a Mando helmet is
like. And I'm a person with a big head. So, like, I know a lot of people say that Darth Vader helmet was huge. That thing would not even fit in my head. I mean, for real. Actually, none of the helmets fit my head that they've come out for the Black Series, so I'm surprised that one probably won't either.
And they're too big for me.
And they're a little bit too big for Bub. But I will say this, a couple of weeks back, Target had a sale. It had basically buy two, get one free. And they had the Mandalorian helmets on pre-order. And of course, as soon as they did that, they all sold out.
Yep, not surprised.
And I actually got to pick up one of those.
That Nerf gun pulse rifle looks pretty cool, but $120 is quite a lot for a Nerf gun.
The only thing I think that could be practical. I mean, if
someone wants to make like a Mando costume.
Yeah, if you're a costumer, if you're doing cosplay, someone buy that and like they would paint that. That'd be cool. And actually, there's some other ones that we.
Oh, Queel sold out.
Yeah, so let's go down the list. These are ones that were previously listed before that we didn't get to talk about a while back, but
the season 1 characters, right?
Yeah, and of course it's like you have the child in the vintage collection. And
really get vintage collection.
Yeah, and that's the 3 3/4 scale. Yeah. And then you have like, of course, the
Black
Grief
Series
Kargan. Yeah,
the Queel, Moff Gideon, and
yeah.
Grief
Now
Kargan.
the Queel, I actually like that one a lot. I think that's the best looking one out of that set.
Moff Gideon I considered, but 1, he sold out, and 2, I'm waiting to get him in case if I don't like his character, because like he's fine, but I don't really have much of an opinion on him because he hasn't appeared all that much.
Yeah,
the Darksaber piece is really cool though.
Yeah, and the only thing I have to say is like his face, man. I don't like the way his face looks right now.
I think it looks fine.
Like, it's okay.
It looks close enough to.
It's okay.
The actor.
Yeah, I mean, now that I'm looking at this picture, yeah, I've seen some other pictures and it doesn't look.
What's his name? Giancarlo Esposito or Esposito? Oh no, I can't pronounce it. I butchered that name probably.
And then Carl.
Oh, Carl Weathers, what have they done to you?
His face, something about that face, it just doesn't sit right.
He got punched one too many times by that Russian guy.
And of course, they have still some stuff on pre-order. They have some of the retro collection, which I have actually already pre-ordered a bunch of that stuff while they had the sale on Target for the buy two get one free for Marvel Star Wars items. And I actually got, I think, all of the retro collections, and that's what I'm waiting for. I actually like those retros. I mean, I collect like the vintage figures myself, and I thought that was pretty cool.
And recently you've been restoring them.
And I've been restoring them, so that's a whole nother subject is restoring. One thing I did notice on here, you can actually still pre-order the Mandalorian retro collection, and he's like sold out everywhere
for $10.
Yeah, and that's actually pretty good in the Cara Dune. I might have to jump on that. For real.
You'll probably.
I don't have that one. That's the only one I wasn't able to pre-order. I got every one but that one.
They have all of the Mandalorian characters.
Yeah. And those are pretty awesome.
Oh, for a second I thought that was the Black Series armor and being like, what, $12?
No, but that's a pretty good. I mean, those are some pretty good figures. So what do you think about the ones that they put up today?
What, the Black Series ones?
Yeah, the Black Series ones. What are your thoughts on those?
I'll probably get Bo-Katan because the Clone Wars character, and I like her. Even if I didn't like the live-action debut, I still like her from Clone Wars. Everyone else I won't really get because I don't really get generic characters. Whenever I got into Black Series, which was like just a year ago, I went in knowing I only want to get characters that I really like. I'm not going to get any like background characters unless it's like cheap. Like I got that Zori Bliss, and the only reason I got it was that it was a discount for $5, and it was like, might as well get it because I had the money.
Yeah, and so with me, I think I'm probably only gonna get the
3-inch.
I'm probably only gonna get the 3-inch, but I may pick up one of the Tuscan Raiders if I find it on the shelf. I'm not gonna go out of my way to hunt it down.
Yeah.
And I probably won't get the hover tank driver or the shore trooper. I've had those in the past, and they're cool. It just doesn't really fit in with what I want to have. I'm really trying to focus on that vintage collection, so I'm like really pushing for like the retro stuff.
Watch, they're gonna re-release that Bo-Katan as like an Amazon exclusive, and it's going to have the alternate helmet.
Watch, yeah. Or they'll have like a big blow-up pack with all the rest of the figures or something like that. Have
it where it comes with like another Night Owl or whatever. Or maybe it's not Sabine Wren, but Ursa Wren. She is a Night Owl. She was in the Rebels show, I think. I wouldn't know because I've never watched it besides like 2 episodes. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were re-released as like a 2-pack with another Night Owl with a different helmet. You know?
Yeah.
You continue.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Which I'm expecting that's probably what they'll do with Boba Fett, is 2 different designs of Mandalorian.
I can see them do that.
I'm expecting what they'll do is Boba Fett's, I guess this is going to be his main design. His fresh paint will probably be the retail one, and the one that's going to be an exclusive somewhere, or one that's going to be like in a hard to get, will probably be the like, all weathered up look.
I can actually see them doing that for like Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con.
Well, they haven't really been doing much convention exclusives because they moved all of them to either Amazon or Hasbro Pulse.
True, because of COVID and stuff like that.
Well, I think it's that they want it to get to more people, even though it's still pretty hard to buy anything on Hasbro Pulse.
I mean, maybe they might make that a Pulse exclusive too. You never know.
Like what they did with Cad Bane. They released 2 different Cad Banes. There's the retail one, which is just Cad Bane, but I think there was an exclusive one that came with his droid that he had. I skipped that one because it's like, I'm not going to pay an extra $20 for just a droid that appeared in a couple of episodes whenever he wasn't really much of a, or the droid wasn't much of a memorable character. Cad Bane was a pretty cool character though.
And the only other one I can see from this recent Black series, including like last week's or the week before, is probably the Quill.
Quill?
Yeah. And because, I mean, I just like that guy. He's probably one of my favorite characters from the first season.
Then they killed him.
Yeah, and they killed him.
Spoiler, he had 1 year.
Spoiler alert, he's dead.
Yeah.
But, you know what?
They somehow made me like this side character in like 3 episodes.
Yeah, and he was cool. I mean, he really was cool. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about some of these older figures that we have.
The old ones that or the ones that got revealed a while ago.
Yeah. And
Crosshairs, Hunter, Asajj Ventress, the Armorer, and Cad Bane. It's interesting that a lot of them are Clone Wars characters. Out of those 5 that were revealed, 4 of them were Clone Wars. I definitely want to get the Bad Batch characters, because ever since that their episodes were revealed, or their episodes were released in the last season of Clone Wars, I wanted them to be released as figures. And they look pretty cool. The Asajj Ventress I'll probably skip out on, because even though she was a cool character in the show, it's not one of my personal favorites, so I'll probably skip out on that. Same with the Armorer, cool character, but not enough to really buy.
Yeah, the Armorer, I probably won't get that one either. Mainly because I'm trying to focus on like 3-inch. But I will say this though, if they start releasing a bunch of the retro vintage collection type retro, not the vintage collection, but the retros, I will buy those up. Like, I will buy every one of those up, because that's the style I like. And I think that goes, personal preference, of,
Oh, there's the Ventress. Yep, there's the...
Oh, yeah, so there's the Crosshairs
and,
and then the Hunter.
It's cool that they included Crosshairs as other alternate sniper parts, because in the show, he barely really used them much, but in the show you can see, like, he takes different scopes or different types of extensions to it and, like, replaces them on his gun. It'd be cool if it came with his little disc things that he used in the last episode of the Bad Batch arc, where, like, he placed them all on the hallway and then, like, shot them and it caused, like, a ricochet. But I get why they wouldn't do that, because it would probably get really easily lost. because they'd be like what, like in centimeters small.
Insanely tiny.
Yeah.
You know what? Looking on the site, I just found out I did not know they sold these.
Here stands.
But they have Hasbro posable action figure stands, the 3-pack, and they're actually really decent priced.
What
and
are
I was
they?
like, wow, that's $14.99. So they're $14.99. So I did not know this. This might be news for some of anybody else that's out there collecting.
Are they not like turned, like how?
Well, it looks like you can turn them any way they want.
Oh.
Like, look at that.
I might consider getting that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because recently,
you can
with those,
swivel it. Look, swivel top.
Because recently, with those,
the NECA brand,
the NECA ones, they made it where it's really annoying, where it's like at a tilt, and it's like I don't want it at a tilt. I want it to be where it's just, I don't know how to describe it, like flat, so you can just have where the character is like flying neutrally instead of like forward.
I mean, I don't know if anybody has any reviews on that, hey, drop it in the comments, because I don't want to know how that how that Hasbro posable action figure stand is, the 3-pack, because that's a great price for $14.99, because with the NECA brand you only get one stand and it's like $9.99
and it can't
Target.
Move.
Yeah, and you can't
and
really
now
move
it's made it to where it's like an annoying pose.
Yeah, it has that it's like cockeyed or something, like angled, kind of weird.
Because I got it to replace, or not replace, but I think it was for Thor, because I removed Thor. I have like my Marvel shelf. I removed the stand I was using for Thor and used it for a different character, and I was going to get another one so I can have Thor flying. But it was at a weird tilt, and how my shelf is, I can't have it where Thor is at a tilt, otherwise it'll knock over a bunch of other characters.
Yeah, and that's kind of like how I have some of my stuff. Like I have like some of the DC stuff, or my Shazam. Like, I want him like posing and flying, and then like for some reason I can't get him to stand right, and I always gotta pose him like in this weird angle.
I think I reused that one at a tilt. I think I used that for Falcon, so that it looks like he's flying forward. But they finally listed those 86 Studio Series figures.
Oh yeah, so we're on Hasbro Pulse. And I always say Plus, and that's we've done so many like edits and cuts because I keep saying Hasbro Plus.
The 15 different takes we had to do.
So it's horrible, but they have new Transformers listed, and some of the newer Transformers that are on here, and we've been like keeping an eyeball out, and I'm the one I'm looking forward to. So we're kind of moving from the Mandalorian to some of the Transformers they have on the Hasbro.
I want the Grimlock.
Grimlock for sure.
I want to get Grimlock because he's going to be stupid, ridiculously expensive in the future.
Yeah.
I want to get all of them because the Jazz looks really cool, and I want to have the full cast of the 1986 Autobot characters.
Oh, and then get Blur. I mean, come on, Blur is awesome.
Blur's one of your favorites.
Yeah.
But then, anytime he's recently appeared, he's died.
Yeah. Like
Cliffjumper. But, the Blur looks cool. One thing I like is that with Rodimus, or not Rodimus, Hot Rod, they include a bunch of, like, side stuff. So you can have where he has the Matrix, and it looks like he's opening it whenever he opened it in the movie. Mm-hmm. And I'm surprised they aren't making a Rodimus Prime, because that's like a pretty important plot point at the end of the movie whenever he becomes Rodimus.
Now let's talk about...
Jeez, they're selling Sound
Jar
Blaster.
Jar.
Oh yeah, the Jar Jar.
Let's talk about that Jar Jar. Okay, surprisingly, Jar Jar's still available for pre-order. That would be cool.
$30.
That's not bad.
I could probably use my cape money.
Oh yeah.
The one.
Oh yeah. So for the plug.
Oh yeah, let's chill.
Let's put this plug in here. So Bub, he is offering up a 3/4, the 3 3/4 scale, and the 6-inch Black Series capes.
I can sell like a car salesman.
There you go.
Hey, you have an issue. You're playing with your Black Series or vintage Mandalorian figure, but that cape, that plastic cape, is just getting in the way of all the poses. And me, being the entrepreneur that I am, like, get rid of it. So, at the very cheap price of $15 for Black Series or $11 for vintage, you can get a custom-made cloth cape. And originally, I wasn't going to sell it. I was just going to get it for myself, or make it for myself, because it just looks so much better, and it doesn't get in the way. Plus, whenever you put the jetpack on that new Beskar one, you can move it out of the way, unlike the plastic one where it just kind of hangs there all annoyingly.
So tell us where you can get that.
Where is it? On Facebook and Etsy, right?
Yeah, so like if you want to go to, well actually if you want to reach me on Facebook at Tuscan TV, you can contact me. And you can also contact me on Instagram at Tuscan TV, but we can also contact you directly at
easy to read name. I review quote unquote stuff.
So contact either Tuscan TV Facebook, Instagram, or you can hit up YouTube in the comments, and I'll lead you to one of those, and I'll have some links. But easy to read name on Instagram for Bub. And
if you want to hear my opinions or whatever.
But
oh wow, look at that. The Phantom Menace characters.
Phantom Menace characters. They're not sold out. They're still sitting there. And that's the vintage collection though.
The one Black Series figure that I want to get is
who really asked for a Queen Amidala that figure again?
The Completionists.
I don't understand that one.
But the one Black Series figure I want to get, but it's probably going to be impossible to get, is that Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. Because that's my personal favorite Boba Fett design. And like it has his iconic gun instead of the weird kind of like pipe looking gun he had in Empire, which I just noticed in episode 15 he actually has a new one. Oh,
you want to talk about that? You know, episode 15 when Bill Burr's in the actual, he's in the ship,
the slave one.
You can see his Return of the Jedi jetpack.
Oh, you can?
On the side, yeah.
Oh, so it's just a new jetpack.
Yeah, so like there's pictures that show that jetpack on the side, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, yep, there goes Jango's jetpack used for like 30 plus years.
So he's got two of them apparently. One thing
because if you look, it's the same jetpack. The only thing that's different is where the flames come out. They're moved to the side. Yeah. So I guess Boba changed it at some point.
Yeah, so that was a little piece that I found out today, actually. So back to the Hasbro Plus. One thing, I don't know if you guys are into, like I said, I'm into the 3 3/4 scale figures. I am down big time to get those Marvel Legends retros. And of course, my favorite set that I'll probably get, actually, to be honest with you, I might as well get that whole set for the $79.99. But I love that Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel.
Who loves Captain Marvel?
Who loves Captain Marvel? Did I just seriously say that? No, I didn't say that. Let's go ahead and erase that.
That's an entire different discussion.
Yeah. Marvel Legends Captain America.
There we go. The better Captain.
Yeah, the Black Panther.
Take.
Yeah, and that's that Hasbro Plus Pulse. Good Lord, Pulse.
We're not going to do another take of this, okay?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do another take. And then the Hasbro Pulse exclusive of the Iron Man and Cyclops, and I'm going to have to get the Loki and Spider-Man.
That's Electro, not Loki.
Oh, it's not? Oh my gosh, it is not. It's Electro.
Same color palette, different characters.
I just kind of scrolled by it and didn't even pay attention, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
The main reason I want it, I just want it for the Spider-Man. Yeah. I mean, who are we kidding? Look at that Spider-Man.
I do.
Now, if I would have opened it up, I would have saw like what it looks like. Oh man! And then did you see that?
The Silk?
Yeah.
I don't really care.
That's more of like the comic, right?
Oh yeah, that's the comic Silk.
Yeah.
I only really get the MCU ones because I've mostly, or not. How do I word this? I've only really watched the movies, mostly because there are no comic shops here. Plus, modern day Marvel comics are interesting, to say the least.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mostly get MCU characters. Well, no, it's expanded because now they're making the Fox characters now, and they're just going to go to the side of the MCU shelf.
And let me go back. Let's see what else we had.
The Beast Wars characters in the Kingdom toy line. I'm not even a Beast Wars fan. I just want to get them because they look cool.
Yeah, they do look pretty neat. I'm not even a Beast Wars fan.
That Devastator 7-pack.
Yeah, that was a little pricey though, man. I saw that price tag.
It's not worth that because you could have at least put like new paint on it, like make it look all sandy. Mm-hmm. But they only really put new paint on Long Haul, so Long Haul just looks overly painted for some reason. But everyone else is just like the same. I think the only other difference is the red is slightly different on Demolisher, who's the body of Devastator, and there's a little bit more silver on Devastator's face. But it's like I could just paint that myself. Not that I would, because it'd be really hard to get straight lines on Mixmaster.
Now, do you want to talk to me about the G.I. Joe? Do you have any interest in talking about the G.I. Joe?
I've never particularly cared much for G.I. Joe. That's more of your arena, I guess.
Yeah, and I like some of the G.I. Joes. It's just like, it's becoming, I don't know if it's too much.
Redundant?
Not redundant. I mean, it's all the same kind of characters, but...
So redundant.
Snake Eyes. I mean, Snake Eyes would be the only guy I would... You know, if they start
He's the coolest
breaking out
one.
some, like, Chuckles...
Snake Eyes is the
Or the
only G.I. Joe I
refrigerator.
like, because he's ninja.
Like, if they had the refrigerator, I would so get that Sergeant Slaughter. Those guys I would. But the one, I think the only thing I'm kind of excited for is I really like I'm going back to the 3 3/4 scales. I really like
the new
Transformers reaction.
Transformers.
Yeah, the Super 7s. And I actually have quite a bit.
Such a disgrace. Transformers that don't transform.
They're action figures.
Yeah, action figures. They're called Transformers for a reason.
So the ones I like out of that particular wave,
Sound Blaster looks pretty cool.
Yeah, the Sound Blaster. I like the Perceptor.
I hope Siege makes Sound Blaster.
That would be cool.
Because they've made Soundwave, but Sound Blaster is the rival to Soundwave, and it'd be cool to make Sound Blaster's little mini cassettes, like
now,
the Rhino.
I have the Soundwave.
Which Soundwave?
Of the retro.
No, I'm talking about like the War for Cybertron,
yeah.
like the ones I have.
I got you.
It'd be cool if they made Sound Blaster.
And then of course they have the Transformers Generation Combiner.
Devastator.
Yeah.
I want it, but that is so expensive.
It's cool, man. That's a really cool one.
Because I have most of the iconic Generation 1 characters. The only ones I don't have is the Generation 1 Devastator.
And of course that one is $149.99 plus
I'm
shipping.
not surprised that they re-released them because he's popular. Plus, Hasbro re-releases what they call the Legendary 7. And the Legendary 7 are like the 7 characters that are guaranteed to always appear in a toy line.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's Soundwave, Megatron, Optimus Prime, Bumblebee. Wait, Soundwave, Megatron, what are the other ones? Starscream.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's the other one that always isn't nice? I said Soundwave, Megatron, Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, Starscream. Devastator is one of them. What's the last one I'm missing? I think it's another Autobot. There's another character on the Legendary 7 that I'm forgetting.
Always show up.
But they always have...
This is why we should take notes.
They always have those 7 characters in a toy line. The only one that doesn't get made as much is Devastator, because Devastator is a lot harder to make, because he's 6 individual ones that combine.
Yeah. And actually, the Devastator on the
Generations line.
On the Reaction Super 7, they actually are going to release that too, so I'm going to get that one. So
I mean, I have Studio Series Devastator, so I have a Devastator, but it would also be cool to have, or I don't have him yet. There's still 2 components I need to get, but I'm like 90% almost done with collecting Devastator components. But I would like G1 Devastator would be cool to have. It's just he's really big, so I don't know where I'd put him.
Yeah.
Because he's as big as Trypticon, and Trypticon is just on my...
Trypticon is huge.
Trypticon's just on my drawers, and he takes up like most of the space on one of them.
Yeah, but he looks cool.
Yeah.
He just sits up there.
You got it for like, how much?
Oh, I bought that at Ollie's for like $49 or something like that. Insane deal.
Insane deal.
So I think now is a good time to end.
But how long have we done for?
For 30 minutes, so we should probably be in it for real. So, all right, so I think we're coming to a conclusion of today's episode. In
a little bit of this talking about toys and stuff.
Just talking about a little bit of toys that Mandalorian, the
Bo-Katan,
the Mando Mondays on Hasbro Pulse, and you know what, you guys, if you're out there on the hunt, always keep your fingers crossed, your eyes peeled, and always remember, treat people well, do good things. Peace out.